Hey, what's up guys? So Geno's Best here. Today I'm going to be showing you a case that is claiming to be able to protect your MacBook Air. And this case comes from a company called UZBL or UZBL, however you want to say it. This company makes a lot of cases for a lot of different products, and they sent me over this case for the MacBook Air, and I wanted to give it a test. So this is what this video is all about. Now the case itself is very simple. It comes in two separate pieces, and both the pieces are clear and they have some rubber protection going around the edges of both of the pieces. And to put them on your MacBook Air, you need to slide them on the bottom portion of the MacBook Air and then also on the top portion or the display of the MacBook Air. And putting the bottom piece on was just fine. The top piece, I did experience a little bit of friction or resistance a little bit, but I was able to get it on without using any type of lube or anything like that. And so this case isn't going to be winning any awards for sexiness, but it's not an ugly case by any means, but it is going to be adding some bulk to your MacBook Air, which defeats the purpose in some ways. But if you're looking for a case to protect it, this is kind of what you have to deal with. But I do like the fact that the case is clear, so you can still see the Apple logo, you can still see the aluminum finish of the actual laptop itself. And then also too, another benefit of this case is that when you set it on the desk or whatever surface you put it on, it's going to be elevated off of it a little bit. So this is not only going to help with ventilation, especially with the bottom piece having different holes to help with all the airflow, but also too is going to make it a little bit easier for me to type on, so my wrists aren't just resting directly on the table. I can actually be propped up a little bit. Now while the laptop is closed, it's going to be protecting all of your ports besides the magnetic charging port, which is the only one that's going to be exposed, but that's going to be pretty hard to damage, so I wouldn't worry about that. And another benefit of having this extra weight on this case and also to the rubber protection is that I'm able to open up my MacBook Air and not have to hold the laptop itself to prevent it from jumping up and down. I'm able to just open it up just by opening up the lid and not have to hold anything down, which is something that you may not notice a lot, but it's something that I do appreciate. All right, that's enough chit chat about design. Let's see how well this case protects this MacBook Air. So I did my first test indoors in my office here, and I was going to drop it on some carpet as soon as my dogs moved out of the way. And I did my first drop test on it, and it came out just fine. There was no damage at all after I dropped it from about a waist level onto the floor, and I'm about 6 feet, so you can kind of get an idea, about 3 feet up in the air. And then I decided, well, this test was cool, but a lot of people may be walking around with this outside. So I went outside to an empty parking lot and I did some more drop tests. And as you can see, I was not playing around. I dropped it on the back of it, very flat. And also I dropped it on the corners and the edge of the MacBook Air to really kind of see exactly how this protection is going to work. And after about 35 minutes of doing multiple drops and trying to get the right slow motion angles for this video, I was able to look at it, and the case itself, of course, was dirty, and the case has some scratches and scuffs on it. But when I really examined the actual laptop itself, it was just fine. It had some scuffs on it, maybe from the case rubbing around a little bit, but I was able to wipe those off. And other than that, there was no structural damage at all, especially to the display, which is probably one of the biggest things that's going to be prone to damage, especially when you drop something on the corner like I did with this. It was protected because of that rubber protection. It didn't make the screen go crazy or wonky or have any cracks or splinters inside of it. So I think it did a really good job overall, and I feel very confident in having this case on. And so I wanted to keep my test simple and more realistic. I could have went at it with a hammer or throwing it out of a moving car, but most of my tests were just me holding the laptop to my side, just like if I was carrying it and walking somewhere. So UZBL sent over this case, and it also sent over some other cases for the iPad mini, and I was able to check those out. And I used one of these cases on a recent trip over to Rome, which is a little bit of a long trip. And the main reason why I really like this case is that it's a little bit better than the smart cover, because when you do fold it up to be able to prop it up, like if you're going to watch a movie or something like that, it's a lot harder to tip over. And so the case itself is not only going to protect it, mostly it's just going to be just more enjoyable to use, especially on something bumpy like a plane. Now, if you are interested in buying the Complete Armor Case for the MacBook Air, they do have a special promo code just for my Geno's Best viewers out there. So if you're entering the code 20YouTube at checkout on their Amazon link, which is going to be in the description box, and you'll get 20% off, which is a pretty good deal. So anyway, guys, go check that out. And also, please be sure to leave your comment down below what you think about this video and this case. And be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube and hit that little notification bell. And be sure to follow me on my social media networks. That's a lot of instructions, but just do it. I'm joking. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like always, I will catch you later. Peace.